Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Economic Development and Planning Committee. First thing on the agenda is discussion. Does anyone have any discussion pertaining to this committee? Hearing none, move right on to the resolutions. First resolution is a resolution to submit the Montgomery County Multi-Jurisdictional All-Hazard Mitigation Plan draft update to New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services and the Federal Emergency Management Agency for renewal. I need a sponsor.
I'll sponsor.
Legislator Kelly, Legislator Hedwell. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move that on to the full board. Second resolution is a resolution appointing member to the Montgomery County Industrial Development Agency and Capital Resource Corporation. Need a sponsor?
I'll sponsor.
Legislator Pep.
I'll second.
Legislator Kowalczyk. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move that on. And does anyone have anything under other? Motion to adjourn. Legislator Martin.
I'll second.
Legislator Kowalczyk. That was quick.
That was a quick one.
I'm up.
This is me.
Alrighty. Let's call the Physical Services Committee to order at 6:01. Anyone have any discussion pertaining to this committee? Hearing none, we'll move on to the resolutions. The first resolution is resolution amending the 2024 operating budget, Montgomery County Transfer Stations Equipment Post-Closure. I need a sponsor.
I'll sponsor.
Legislator Kowalczyk. Legislator Pep. Discussion. Eric, you want to fill us in on this at all?
I'm sorry, I wasn't.
You stay after class.
What an explanation on that?
Yeah,
The
just-
truck that the post-closure committee purchased 5-6 years ago was in need of more repairs than the truck was worth, so the committee decided to put it up for auction and order a new truck, which we did, and actually we probably received, post-closure committee received about $3,000 more than the truck was worth at the auction. So.
And how much was that?
7,500.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Move that to the full board. Next resolution, resolution amending the 2024 operating budget and establishing one additional structural maintenance helper. Need a sponsor? Legislator Pep.
Second.
Legislator Allen. Discussion. Hearing no discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move it on to the full board. Next resolution is a resolution amending the 2024 operating budget, CHIPS, Consolidated Highway Improvement Program. I need a sponsor.
I'll sponsor.
Legislator Martin, Legislator Kelly, and Legislator Hedwell Jr. Discussion. Martin.
Is there any carryover from 23?
Just wrong.
Eric, I remember in the past, I mean, there was talk certain years, the years that they may not carry it over. Did they chuck that theory or what?
As long as you only carry over within what was allocated from the previous year, you can carry. So if I don't spend everything that was allocated in 22 and 23, I can't carry 22 is what's remaining to 24.
Just the immediate previous years?
Correct.
Okay.
But everything that was, so obviously,
Yep.
when 23 hit, we spent all
Yeah.
of 22's carried over first.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move that to the full board. Next resolution authorizing county executive to sign an intermunicipal agreement between the Village of Cannon Cherry Wastewater Treatment Plant and the Montgomery County Sanitary District Number 1 for sludge treatment disposal. Need a sponsor. Legislator Allen, second. Legislator Pep. Discussion. Martin.
Is this only because the contract expired?
I believe so.
It's in year to year, we do. Now, they, Amsterdam does 3-year with us. Candy Harry wants year to year, I believe.
good. Mr. Patel, could you let Dan know that the attachments are not being able to be opened? I don't, not, I mean, you can check with them now, but I'm just saying, it's happened in the past. And
I'm gonna check on it.
okay, that's fine. Thank you. Alrighty. We did a vote on that, didn't we? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? All right, moving on to the full board. Next resolution authorizing the county executive to execute change order with Stilson electrical contractor Ravenna Road project. Need a sponsor? Legislator Pep, second. Legislator Kowalczyk. Discussion? Hearing none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
I abstain. I think that will move it.
No.
2 noes and
It doesn't make a difference, it goes up anyways.
Yeah.
All right, next is resolution approving the sale of surplus equipment. I need a sponsor.
Let's sponsor.
Legislator Majewski, second by Legislator Kowalczyk. Discussion.
Chair,
Yep.
there's a lot of things that are going up for sale. Do we have minimum bids on all this stuff going up? I mean, this stuff has to be worth something. I'm not sure how we've done it in the past, or,
Do you know Eric?
So, I made, sheriff offered to sell the town car for $1. Being that it was, municipality within the county.
I think that's a different.
No, that's a
resolution.
different-
That's a different resolution. This
I
is the
thought
one.
this was sale of the car.
no,
No,
sale of
this is
surplus.
Surplus, all the surplus stuff, the dump truck, the.
Oh. Yeah, everything was listed on auction. Everything went through College Cities based on,
Is there-
our agreement that we've had with College Cities over the years.
Is there ever a minimum bid on any of this stuff, or is it
Yeah.
just whatever?
Yes.
So there's like a
Yes.
reserve?
There was two pieces of equipment had a reserve. The Great All and the front end loader. The Great All did not sell because it did not bring enough money. So I put the reserve, I get other equipment dealers, prices, quotes on what I could get for a trade or for a sale. And I look across the state and see what other municipalities are selling for. And the Great All, I put a reserve of 40,000 on it and didn't go nowhere near that, so we'll keep it. Because I'm guaranteed a trade-in value of 36,000.
So maybe I'm confused now, because we're doing a resolution to sell this stuff, but it sounds like it's already been done.
Sold.
The auction's already happened?
Yeah, the auction has, that's same as we've done them in the past. The resolution runs in concurrence with the auction, same month.
So typically, we should have a resolution to sell the equipment first, to approve the sale, is that what you're saying?
I would assume, because we should be able to look at it and say, wait, time out, we're gonna take this off, this off, and this off, and they're not gonna be on the list to be sold, versus selling it.
The resolution is approving the sale,
Right, not approving
not
the sale.
what was sold.
Right.
Chair. I think what it is you're having the auction, but the sale doesn't go through, the transfer doesn't occur until the legislature approves the sale, the pricing and the equipment. Correct?
Well, the auction's ended, so all, like I said,
But
other than what we put.
the sale will be contingent until the legislature approves.
Do we still have all this stuff on site?
No, there's already been removal of some of the products.
So if this doesn't pass full legislature, then
So we'll work on getting that straight so it doesn't happen again.
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I oppose.
Abstain? Okay. Anything under other? Hearing none, motion to adjourn. Legislator Kelly, Legislator Allen. Thanks, Herb.
That have been taken out of service
Right.
or by our mechanics and they hit the auction line.
Do you keep like a running inventory?
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll work on getting that straight so it doesn't happen again.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Abstained? Okay. Anything under other? Hearing none, motion to adjourn. Legislator Kelly, Legislator Allen. Thanks, Herb.
I'd like to call the Public Safety Committee meeting to order 6:10. Any discussion? Or not discussion? Any comments?
Discussion.
No? Discussion.
Yeah, that was right. You said it right.
All right, let's see what we got here. Resolution amending the 2024 operating budget with forfeiture money that the district attorney, do you have a sponsor?
I'll sponsor.
Kowalczyk, second by legislator Pep. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Move to the full board. Resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an agreement accepting the 2021 State Homeland Security Program, cybersecurity grant funds, and amending the 2024 operating budget. Legislator Pep, second. Legislator Headwell. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move to the full board. Resolution approving sale of surplus vehicle from the sheriff. Sponsor? Alan or Kelly?
Sponsor.
Maria Kowalczyk? Legislator Kowalczyk. Any discussion?
Yes. Sure. I think if, in the future, if we're gonna be putting stuff in the auction, all vehicles should be, everything should be put in the auction, including this vehicle, and if someone wants to bid on it, I mean, the person that's doing the auction purchased this vehicle.
Wrong.
It doesn't, it's the town of Florida. This is one of these things where we have a person that he's a supervisor, and he's also DPW person. This, as Mike even would say last month, if it doesn't pass the smell test, this is one of those where it's a, thing, this should never happen. Keep it clean. It should have gone in the auction. It should have been bought in the auction. This vehicle, we have no clue of what this vehicle was worth. Is it worth $5,000? Is it worth $2,000? We don't know what it's worth. So I just think it's a bad deal when we start doing this because we don't do it to any other employee in the county.
Legislator Kelly.
I understand where legislator Headwell's coming from, but if we were to treat the sale of surplus equipment like we do the real estate auction, it would come before the board to transfer the equipment like we have with property. We've given it to municipalities in exchange. If we're approving the list that's being put up for auction, then we can determine if, town of Florida needs a vehicle, town of Minden needs a vehicle. We can make that decision and remove it from the list, make the deal, put the rest up for auction.
Eric, you have surplus sale once a year?
Typically, yes.
Okay. So next year we'll just have the resolution.
And for the record, Chair, this vehicle was gone through by a deputy supervisor from the town of Florida. And all the discussions were held by the deputy super of the town of Florida, who was the main mechanic at Rose Pontiac Buick his whole life. And I recused myself from that. So to be accused of I'm the one that bought it pisses me off. Because I get chastised by a certain legislator in this room constantly.
Okay.
Any
So,
further discussion?
yeah, so in the future, just make sure when we have a surplus sale,
Yes, sir.
we'll have the resolution to approve the list,
Absolutely.
and then we'll go from there. All right.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move to the full board. Resolution authorizing the county executive to enter into contracts with school districts for school resource officer positions.
I'll sponsor.
Sponsored by Legislator Kelly, second by Pep. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move to the full board. Resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an agreement accepting the 2022 State Hazardous Materials Program grant funding and amending the 2024 operating budget. For the sponsor, Legislator Headwell, second by Legislator Kowalczyk. Any discussion? Yeah?
So we're accepting a fiscal year 22? Okay.
Yeah, I confirmed 3 times that the years were correct.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move to the full board. Resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an agreement accepting the 2021 State Hazardous Materials Program grant funding funds and amending the 2024 operating budget.
No sponsor.
Sponsored by Legislator Kelly,
A second.
second by Chairman Sweet. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move to the full board. Resolution amending the 2024 operating budget for grants. Do we sponsor?
I'll sponsor.
Legislator Kowalczyk, seconded by Legislator Pep. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Move to the full board. Resolution utilizing grant funds from the 2024 U.S. Department of Agriculture's Community Facilities Program and amending the 2024 operating budget. Sponsored by Legislator Pep, seconded by Legislator Kelly. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Moves to the full board. And any further comments? I'd like to make a motion to adjourn by Legislator Kelly,
I'll second.
seconded by Legislator Kowalczyk.
I'd like to call the Health and Human Services Committee to order. It is 6:17 PM on Tuesday, May 21st. First on the agenda is discussion. Hearing none, I will bring my one and only resolution forward, and that is a resolution to amend the 2024 budget and establish a social services fraud investigator trainee for social services. Do I have a sponsor?
No sponsor.
Okay. Legislator Allen and Legislator Majewski. Any discussion? Legislator Kelly.
What's the full-time amount for the full year?
The full-time? So I'll just, while Nicole's looking it up, I'll just share with you, if you recall during the budget process, we eliminated 2 part-time positions, made it a full-time one. It was the need of the department. We still need it. We're struggling to get qualified candidates. We've had a couple that came through. By doing this traineeship, we'll have a much better pool after a year we put them in. So there's no cost, it's a 0 cost. We're actually saving money this year, and we'll still save a little bit next year because they'll still be at a smaller salary for 5 months of next year too, or 6 months. So I was delaying to try to get that information.
My document won't open.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even get the Health and Human Services thing.
Yeah,
You can
it's-
use
it's-
mine, Mike,
it
if you
goes in and out.
Here's mine if you need.
Yeah, it's
That's
about
all right.
43 to 46.
Thank you. I got it on my
for the
phone.
fall.
Thank
So you're saving quite a bit of money this year, and we're just moving money from that line into the training line. So, yeah.
Will you then be filling that line back again when we redo the budget?
No, so what we won't do is we won't fill the traineeship. Once we have, so the traineeship, what Nicole and I worked on was the traineeship will be for a year. That automatically puts them into the full-time fraud investigators position. We will no longer have a need to have a traineeship because the position's
So then
full.
when you're doing the budget for next year, you'll have the traineeship funded till
Yes.
whenever? then-
Yes.
And so some of
And you
that,
won't pull from that line item that's sitting there during the year before the bill.
Martin, that's a great question. Remind me if I ever do that. That's not our intention.
so the other thing, it's a year, we just have to keep in mind it's a competitive position, so the traineeship is, really, the year starts when that person is appointed off the list. So, it could be a little bit longer into next year and, potentially into.
And is this a test that is regularly available?
I'm working with the state right now on testing the schedule it should be every year. We'll call for it as soon as it passes here. So.
Any other discussion?
See, a lot of discussion on this one.
Lots of discussion, my one and only. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? And that will move on to the full legislature. Next on the agenda is anything under other? Hearing none, I need a motion to adjourn. Legislator Kelly? Legislator Majewski?
All right, I'd like to call the Education and Government Committee meeting to order at 6:19. Committee of the Whole, any discussion? Hearing none, our first resolution authorizing county executive to sign contracts. Flood insurance coverage, 9 Park Street. Do I have a sponsor? Chairman Sweet, and I'll second it. Any discussion? We usually renew this year to year, is that the deal?
I believe so.
Okay, I mean,
We renew that every year.
okay. All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, our next resolution, urging the state of New York to enact the Rescue EMS package of legislation to strengthen our emergency medical services. I'll sponsor that. Do I have a second? Legislator Kelly, it's like an auction. You gave me a little head nod. Put your card up, right? Sheriff?
Yes.
I'm just interested, I mean, I've seen things before that have come, I'm certainly in favor of this because I sponsored it, and, but I've seen things come through us before that are, you know, taking a position that other people are taking on, and we don't always hop on that wagon. Obviously, there's many reasons to hop on this wagon, but just, you know, fill in the blanks.
So this is a resolution that is very similar in nature as to what you just explained. There's numerous counties that have supported this resolution and sent it on to the governor's office to
Do
try to
we,
support.
excuse me one moment, that was something when I read this the other day. Do we know how many of the counties have hopped on this wagon and how many of the
I don't have an
contiguous
exact
counties?
number.
So this came through NISAC.
Yeah.
Received an email the other day. I don't have an exact number that are, but there was a lot of counties that were on board in this, and it's a no-brainer. EMS is in
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
having problems
Yeah.
all throughout New York State, and we
Agreed.
have to be ahead of it. And so
Did you see Fulton County on it, Schoharie County, any contiguous county, Oneida?
I can't
You
tell
didn't say, okay. I was just curious if some of our neighbors were already on the bandwagon.
I apologize, I do not know.
That's all right. You know, send us an email, let us know.
If
But
you
keep,
would like, I can check those counties.
yeah, I'd just be curious if there's a list someplace. I don't need you to do any due diligence calling people, Sheriff. That's overkill. But, okay, keep going.
Well,
I'm sorry.
it basically covers numerous pieces of legislation that would strengthen, what the sponsors of that legislation believe would strengthen the EMS process throughout municipalities and throughout the state, and give certain benefits to current EMS providers and volunteer firefighters that are performing those duties. Like it increases the tax credits, it enables them to receive the income tax credit and the property tax credit if the municipality approves.
Yep.
You know, it sets forth some requirements for EMS providing by municipalities to hope that you decrease that response time or that non-ambulance availability during a 911 emergency.
Absolutely.
That's what it boils down to.
There were some good case examples in here that, you know, that were provided. All right, any further discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, carries to next week. Next resolution, adopting policy and practice guidelines for the county executive to determine expenditures, limits, and priorities of the 2025 operating budget.
Sheriff.
Yes, sir.
Stay here, please.
Okay.
Thanks.
I have a sponsor. Legislator Kelly, bidding at today's Legislator Majewski. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, and a motion to adjourn at 6:24. Legislators Kelly and Kowalczyk, thank you.
Call the Budget and Finance Committee to order at 6:24. First thing, is there any discussion from committee or the public? Hearing none, we'll move right along. First is a resolution authorizing county treasurer to distribute mortgage tax money. Is there a sponsor? Legislator Walchuk, Legislator Allen, discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, carried. Next is a resolution approving abstract of audited claims. Is there a sponsor?
I'll sponsor.
Legislator Hagel, Legislator Majewski, discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, carried. And I'm assuming that we are going into executive session for what purpose?
We can talk, we can say personnel.
And who do we want to invite?
The first time I want to invite the sheriff and the and sergeant.
So make your motions.
Motion?
Motion.
No, you just had Bell? Motion. I'll second.
And we're inviting
The second,
Sheriff.
yeah, the second, I'm gonna need Nicole afterwards.
Nicole, don't run too far.
I just, yeah.
Yeah. We'll call you.
Musical.
Good to go.
I look for a motion to come out of executive session where no action was
I'll
taken.
second it.
I'm sorry, who made it? Thank you.
Is there any other discussion that needs to happen? If not, I look for a motion to adjourn. Walchuk and Majewski.
So quiet now.